your Thursday evening. It is December 18th, 2025. Once again, I almost let that six slip, but hey, we're on the heels of it already anyway. So if it does slip out, hopefully we'll have the kind of effect that it'll slip out when it needs to slip out, and then we won't go back the other way. So, thank you so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I am here to bring you a employment situation summary for November 2025. And I mentioned to you guys before that these particular reports on the Department of the Bureau of Labor Statistics is what this is based on. I want to bring you just a summary of it. I've gone through some of these numbers or whatnot, and just wanted you to see. Just wanted to get an idea of what we're being presented, okay, and what impact that it has or what it could have. Yeah, what it could have. So this is a Bureau of Labor Statistics that we're looking at. So I want to give you guys just a couple of minutes to come in here. It is again Thursday, so if it's your Thursday, if it's your Thursday, then congratulations, you've made it. You've made it to your Thursday. But I definitely want to talk about the employment situation summary and the technical information. Of course, this is garnered from two different. There's household data and then there's establishment data. So I'm not going to go into the weeds of those. I'm not going to go into the weeds of those, but I do want to talk about this employment situation. So I've prepared a little bit of a breakdown for you. So what I'm going to be addressing is the overall job market. Hello, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate if you guys could love on the like button wherever available. I'd appreciate that. It still helps out, even on the heels of 2025. It still matters. So if you can hit the like button, great. Okay, love on that like button, love on it. Okay, so what I want to start with, we'll talk about the overall job market. Okay, and then we'll talk about job creation. We'll talk about the job loss as well as automation and AI impact. Okay, and the key takeaway is what I kind of wanted to, I wanted to give a little short summation on that. So with that said, but I just want to give you guys a little bit of I just want to give you a little bit of landscape here. Okay, so I said this earlier this morning. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and loving on the like button. Again, welcome in if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys for loving on the like button. So I'm saying that this BLS report, which is the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it reveals to me the future and where we're going. Okay. And I want to say overall, what this has revealed to me is that the common man will have to you will have to requalify in this new system that's being in this new infrastructure that they're building. Okay, and then I'm saying that that's evident based on the amount of jobs that are the job losses, the jobs that are lower risk in automation and AI impact as well. So I'm just saying, here we go again with I'm saying that this whole stage is being set to lock the common man out. This is a new founding. I also will give a little bit of an opinion on the address from last evening as well. And I guess Trump will probably go down as he's going to go down as a founding father, whether you like it or not. That's, to me, that's where the aim is. Okay. That's another piece of it. So this is the thing. I want to give you the jobs report and let you go from there. So first off, the first thing that you could see that I could, glean from this is that the overall job market, they said that the net job change was plus 64,000 jobs or slow growth. Okay. And then they've touted that this unemployment rate is actually at 4.6 percent. They've touted that it's at 4.6%. Good evening, good afternoon to Flying Guillotine 22. How are you? Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for loving on the like button. If you haven't had a chance to, it's there for you. Okay. All right. So you have your job creation numbers. Your job creation numbers, they're basically showing that healthcare was a plus 46,000 jobs in ambulatory care, hospitals, nursing facilities. Okay. And then they have construction at 28 at plus 28,000 jobs, specialty trade contractors. Okay. Um, and then you had social assistance at plus 18,000 jobs, individual and family services. And see, to me, that speaks to a lot of some other social, engineering going on there. So let me just keep going. And then here comes your job loss. Uh, the job loss, it shows in the federal government at 6,000 minus 6,000 jobs following the large October losses due to the offline. They say the shutdown is the startup. So I'm saying that this $6,000, this 6,000 job loss in number is more of a soft AI. I think AI will be. I submit that AI will be your new government. Okay. Right now it's very soft. Okay. It's a soft, it starts out entry level. But it's going to advance. Okay. So that's where your and to me, that makes the most sense. If you've got minus 6,000 jobs, well, how are you going to replace those jobs? Well, it's easy. You're going to replace those jobs with AI. Some type of automation, some type of AI system is going to replace those jobs. I don't suspect will go back into, they are not going to restore. I don't think those jobs are going to be restored at those levels if they continue to lose them. I'm thinking they're going to continue to lose them, and I think they're showing you that. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. So the next one, it says the transportation and warehousing. That was a negative 18,000 jobs. You guys have a field day with this. The guys with the numbers. The courier and the messengers, that's another negative 18,000 jobs. And then, you guys with the numbers here, if you don't get your negative 18,000 and negative 18,000, you're looking at 36,000 jobs. Those jobs, I don't think those jobs are coming back. They're going to continue. I think that's your sign. I think that the government will be replaced with AI. Okay. That will be your federal government will be AI. It will not be restored, those jobs. And then automation and AI impact, high risk. Then they turn around and say that you have couriers, warehouse logistics, administrative processing roles. Okay, so that's the same category as those 18,000 jobs that I mentioned in the job loss. And then your moderate risk, federal clerk, administrative positions, to me, those will eventually be AI outsourced. And then your low risk, healthcare workers, construction trades, social service providers. So, hello, thank you so much for coming in, Flying Guillotine, and at Charlie Langston says hello from the Canary Islands. Hello, thank you so much for coming in and supporting the channel. If you guys could please love on the like button, okay? It's so necessary around here. It really is. Okay, so what I'm saying is I think there's nothing new under the sun here. What I'm on about is that you're getting global governance is going to come. AI is going to replace most of this job loss. They already know where that job recovery is going to come from. It's going to come from AI. Your government jobs will be AI, soft AI, whether you call that low skilled, entry level. It's perfect. It's the perfect profile. for it to be a soft AI. Okay. And then, so this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is perfect. The job creation. So you got healthcare. You've got to have people. You still have to have people, enough people in these industries to take care of the common man or to administer what goes on. You got to have that link between the common man and your automation. And if, because to me, we're going towards the fourth industrial revolution, as Schwab said in his own book. Okay. So what they're going to do is they still need the common man in construction. They still need the common man in healthcare. So what they're going to do is they're going to build the infrastructure until they don't need the common man anymore. That's what they, and then by that time we will be shifted. We will be in a full on, the transition will be complete. The gradualistic process will be complete by then. To me, much like some people might argue the country was founded in the same way. You use the common man, you use the common man, you use the wants, the needs, the desires of the people, to, you keep that carrot dangling in front of them in order to get you to where you want to go. Okay, they can't just drop it all on you at one time, right? So you build the infrastructure. You got to build it. You got to keep the pulse of the common man going through healthcare. You got to keep the buildings going up. They want you got to get these common men to build these data centers. You got to get them to do that, right? Okay. So just kind of like the forefathers. And I also think that Trump is going to be considered a forefather because he is ushering us into, I'm not going to say the spirit of the spirit of 1776, even though that whole dividend thing, that's a whole nother story. But I'm saying he is going to, I think he's behind that. I think he's behind that very much. Hi, Conspiracy Queen. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. So I'm saying that much like, no matter what people think, no matter what kind of illusions that are out there, we have more lens to view things from, at this point, at this time in life. So that's what I'm saying. So allegedly the key takeaways, they still want to maintain that AI and automation are not eliminating jobs across the economy. Instead, they are reducing roles that involve repetitive, routine, and logistic-based tasks while the demand grows for human-centered and skilled labor. But like I said, they can't unplug from the human-centered and skilled labor. Yes, yeah. But when they are in a position to do that, they will. Okay, and then you won't be necessary anymore. That's at that point. Maybe the universal basic income will be a reality, or for the lack of a better word, what do they call these? There's two different types of incomes that they're referring to. But you have the universal basic income, and then you have one that's kind of for the extreme for poverty, and then you have one that they need to be able to fund indefinitely. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm on about there. So with that said, I just wanted to, I'm just thinking that AI will eventually be the government. There won't be these negative 6,000 jobs, transportation, warehousing, couriers and messengers. Those jobs to me are going to continue to be under. Okay. And that the low risk translates to, essential. You guys remember that term essential that didn't go away during COVID? Well, that's what AI is essential now. Okay. So AI, all the human beings that are going to be allowed on the scene to continue to build things up until they don't need the common man anymore, those are low risk. Your healthcare workers, your construction trade, your social services, don't forget about they're building these data centers. They've got to have that. They've got to keep that going. But at some point, they won't even need you for that. Okay. So I'm saying, we've been conditioned to even realize that AI is essential. Okay. You're not going to get much more essential than AI is what you're not going to get. Okay. So they need the common man to build certain infrastructures up to a certain level. Okay. And they're setting the stage to lock you out. Okay. That's kind of my bottom line there. And then yeah, and then who knows who will write the history then? What will the history book say? Who will they credit for building? Who will they credit for building, putting the place where it is? Well, who will they credit? Okay. I pretty much have a good idea. But with that said, I kind of want to shift just a little bit. Flying Guillotine said lab printed food, AI job, and work from home. There you go, Flying Guillotine. I can count on you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this. I didn't really see anything earth shattering in that whole Trump address. I didn't really see anything earth shattering. I see the same old rack is what I see. All these historical illusions. Of course, the immigrants are the issue. They're the reason for the home crisis. This is a surface illusion. Okay. They're the reason for the jobs, not being there. They're the reason for the education not being there. Those pieces are the same. Whether he was supercharged, super energized, Energizer Bunny, it was the same rack. Okay, it's the same rack. The left is the problem. Meanwhile, are we not more tethered now with the amount of deals that have been made with the Pfizers and dare I say, you guys remember these are the same players. Those were the same players. Moderna, Johnson and Johnson, Moderna, Pfizer. I can't, there were a ton of them. And then he talks about how things are down at up to 500, 600%. And there again, there's been more deals that have been made to tether people to big pharma. Then he's talked about there's a Trump RX. Is that the name of the site? Is that the name of the site now? I mean, hey, nothing new there, right? I also I see the Warrior dividend with the 1776 glaze on it. I saw that, but here again, this is more of the illusions and the things that people want to hold on to, whether that's not sustainable. With the system that we're going into, that's not sustainable. But some people they're going to support whatever he says. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. So yeah, one president said, "Oh, we beat Big Pharma." What was it? Karine Jean-Pierre said that they beat Big Pharma, and yet Big Pharma is back on the scene. I think there'll be another. I think there'll be another warp speed. I think there'll be another venture because what was it? Gates has already bared out that he'd already been discussing it with the president. So. And Gates himself said that we had the seeds of research here in the States. So I can see that very well. You've already got the partnerships. You've got the shareholders. You've got the partnerships already there. Why not? Who knows? Who knows what this year is going to bring? Who knows? But I think anything's possible because the same players are back on the stage. And, the same players, they've got the same power behind them as before, if not more. And that's, I just didn't really see anything that was earth shattering. I just know that a lot of this is illusions, and a lot of people they love their illusions and their politics more than, they love it. They love that more than anything. So I just wanted to share that perspective with you guys on, where I think things are kind of going. Not sure about the first of the year. I'm not sure if we should anticipate any other forms of bailouts. I'm wondering if the financial industry will go there. I did talk about the cuts. Everybody's citing efficiency and technology, and oh, everything's all about efficiency and technology. Everything from the education department, interagency shifts, to yeah, Wells Fargo, the banking. That's all about efficiency, and just I'm telling you, I just think that 2026 is going to there's going to be a lot going on there, and it has to be, it has to be. So I do think that Trump's address pretty much contradicts whatever his even if whether he claims to be on Team Powell or not, it still contradicts what he says. Allegedly Powell worries that the jobs are under by 40,000 in some instances, 20,000 in one regard. I mean, it's a mess. Conspiracy Queen says a dumpster fire of flaming muck. I get it. I'm tracking. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Ryan Jardina says the different puppets, same master. Gotcha. Conspiracy Theory says his stupid address had me wanting to call the press hotline. So we'll just have to see. I mean, I don't need to tell you guys. You guys actually shop. You guys actually buy your own groceries. You guys buy your own gas. You guys know. You guys know. I honestly just look at if whether you're a holiday person or not, look at, just a lot of people wanted to measure, say, oh, well, you got all these negative Nancy's and naysayers on social media, and people were all in lines at the, stores, and they were shopping, the Black Friday sales, and yeah, so because that gives us a real idea of what people actually go through, whether I mean, hey, some people are still going to be irresponsible, even in debt. Even in debt, there's still some people still don't are just irresponsible with their debt. Some people still paying for last Christmas. Does that mean, are they counting that as a part of the economy being in the great shape? I'm just saying, you know, that's the credit card debt. But they don't talk about the foreclosures. They don't talk about the repossessions. They don't talk about the affordability. They're not discussing any of that. None of that is come out. None of that doesn't get into these addresses, right? Everything's fine. Everything's golden. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let's see. Conspiracy Queen says, I don't foresee bailouts unless it's more abroad. Well, like I said, we will have to see. We'll have to see, because I think I talked about this. If we go back to COVID, we can go back to COVID or a little bit after COVID, where the numbers in terms of even repossessions were up. Like, I think, what was it, Ford that was working on a model in which the car would be able to self repossess, because at that time they were seeing repossession numbers go up as well. So what are you going to do with a bunch of bad, I'm hearing that they're having to do a lot more to maintain the money that they have as is. So it'll be good to see what's going on. All right. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and coming in for this employment situation summary and the jobs. I gave you guys a high risk, a moderate risk, low risk, and definitely the healthcare, construction, as well as the social assistance jobs were the lowest risk of the jobs, lowest risk in automation and AI impact. And to me, that makes perfect sense, because they still need the common man to continue to build infrastructure. They still need the common man to build actual data centers. They need that. So they can't cut you off right now. They cannot. So we'll just see. I just suspected there will be escalation Fred Chambers 7030. Thank you so much for all that you do and for coming in. So I appreciate you guys for loving on the like button. And like I said, if you want to throw caution to the wind, you can always subscribe. And if you super want to throw some caution to the wind, just share this thing out. And if you got that notification bell on, you can see, whenever I come on. I usually try to come on with some type of nugget in the morning. I try to come up with some type of tone for the morning, or it's a little bit of an echo. It could be an echo chamber to start off the day, but we're going somewhere. That's what I want to say. So I appreciate you guys so much. But yeah, you gotta keep yourself in good shape, and be aware of where you are, where you stand on all of this. That matters, right? So I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. And if you want to leave me anything in the comment section, let me know, what does all of this signal for you? What is this signaling for you? Is it signaling a recession? Is it signaling a depression? What is it signaling for you? Is it signaling AI bubble burst? What is it signaling for you? Okay, I really appreciate it. And see, Conspiracy Queen says, know how to cut losses fast and bail if you can. When it goes bad, it will be fast. I got you. I got you. Well, I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. And for those of you that were able to love on the like button, or, don't be shy about that like button. It's there for you. Whether you tap once, tap twice, whatever format you're in. This is a vertical stream that you're on right now. I've been in the vertical lane for a while. Probably hang out here, because I think that's the trend. That's where they want it to be. And yeah, that's where they want it to be. So, all right, guys, I hope you guys are off to a great start. The weekend's on the way. So you guys have a great start to your Friday/weekend, and we'll get back together soon, guys. All right, guys, let me see, make sure I didn't miss anybody in here. Charlie James T6X, thank you so much for coming in. Charlie Langston from the Canary Islands, thank you. Flying Guillotine 22, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Let's see, Simply Mr. C, you're throwing caution to the wind, friend. Conspiracy Queen, thank you so much for keeping us on our toes. And Ryan Jardina, thank you. Felix Camacho Y5C. And I think I pretty much covered everybody. Fred Chambers 7030. Who would I be without that? Thank you so much, Fred Chambers, for all that you do and coming in. And let's see, what else do we have here? Thank you so much. Same to you, Fred Chambers 7030. And all right, guys. Well, you guys have a great evening, and I will see you later. Possibly tomorrow. Definitely, yeah, tomorrow. All right, guys.